What up, everybody? Welcome to the Unfiltered Truth. I am your host, Phil Robinson III. With me, Phil Jones. What's happening, Phil?
Hey, what it do, y'all? How y'all been?
Well, everything's not quite melting down. There's a general manager search going on, a head coach search, a front office search, a search for spiritual nirvana, an identity search, any type of search that you could think of. The Raiders have got it going on in the organization right now. The beauty of it is that we're going to take this next hour and break it all down for you. Jim P.
Where we begin, bro? Shit. Hey, Jim, how you doing?
How
you
personally,
doing?
what we're Al didn't forget, and we're 80 subscribers away. Phil don't have the one. He don't have the Reaper Chip Challenge, but he got Death by Salsa over there that he said he's gonna do.
Should I bring it out real quick?
Oh, you should. The chip. I need the chip. Well, yeah, while you're running out there to do that, getting food deliveries here. See what we got here.
It's a potato pillow.
The potato pillows. Oh, that's some shit right there.
Isn't that delicious?
Oh, we're live though.
Oh.
Wow, that was alive. I feel good. No motherfucker.
You need the chip?
A little bit.
Yes, please. No, excuse me while I have a fat moment on camera and eat a nice little potato pocket.
A potato pocket.
Don't I can tell you try it. That shit was good. Death by Salsa.
What can I say, you guys? If we hit it, I just want to open this shit, just see how this shit go.
Just smell it real quick, just to smell how crazy.
Oh shit! What the fuck? Whew.
One chip challenge that one. Oh well.
Whew.
What's going on, food stamp? And all 50 people in the bar going on. We got to give these people what they want.
Woo.
The lengths that we go to prepare ourselves for your enjoyment.
Are you not entertained?
I'm here to tell you, you will be. We might die on camera in the live, but you'll be entertained.
Dying and all that shit. That might be you and all, but no.
Bro, I just watched a can of salsa knock you on your ass from a sniff.
Sir, if you get the chance, you guys, go on YouTube, look up Death by Salsa Challenge. And it ain't pretty.
No, I expect these insides to be burning and steamy for weeks.
So, other than that, look, I know everybody's waiting to get down to business. So, here's the good stuff. Raiders GM list so far, we've had was it Dwayne? What's the name?
Ziegler's had an interview. Yeah. Dwayne Joseph has had an interview. Have they
Jay
interviewed?
Brown, Ed Dobbs should be coming in either tomorrow or Thursday. Who else am I missing? I feel like I'm missing one more guy.
You said Dodd, Ziegler. You didn't say Ziegler.
Yeah, I added Ziegler in. Champ Kelly. Champ Kelly had his interview as well. Again, and I did my list. So this is what I was getting from my inside guy from far west. It's a possibility that we could be seeing Omar Khan and a potential interview with John Dorsey. Now, that's not 100% like, oh, that's going to happen. You know, it's a thought. You want to have an open mind when it comes to these interviews, these GM searches. You don't want to just limit it to like only 3 people. You want to make sure like, well, damn, I missed out on this guy, and this guy could have actually been the guy that got everything done for us, and we had long-term success. You want to do a thorough search with this. That's been the problem over the years with Mark Davis. He didn't do that. He just went and jumped and, oh, we're going to grab him. Or he didn't listen. He didn't hear everybody out. And then when you had John Gruden just basically took over everything. And when they said, well, we need a new GM because, you know, that it's not working out with you and Reggie. So if you look at things, it's John Gruden needed to still have control. So he got a GM that, well, I mean, Mark Davis got the GM. But again, if you look at it, John Gruden had a GM that had control, because you go on any site like Spot Track or Over the Cap, you know who they have listed as the general manager, Phil?
Who's that?
John Gruden.
Interesting.
So that should have told you all right off the bat, Mayock, he could do a little bit of this, but not what everybody else is doing, if you catch my drift. So
I mean, we could really beat around the bush and lead it all in nice and soft like that. But the reality is that Mike Mayock was not very good at his job. While the Raiders are going into the 2022 season with $29 million in salary cap space, they got 4 or 5 truly horrendous contracts that are financial obligations hanging over this franchise like an albatross ready to shit on your head. Well, they were terrible deals, and the extensions and the reworking of the deals were actually worse for Corey Littleton, Carl Nassib, and, dare I say, Nick Kwiatkowski as well.
You know, where you look at it, and I'm just gonna say this. I mean, you can cut the guys, you can free up some cap space, but the thing about it, you're gonna pay for it the following year because it's gonna carry over. The Raiders have about nearly $10 million in dead cap space going into this year. And, you know, that deals with you releasing Henry Ruggs. That goes with you also releasing Damon Arnett. And those that Isaiah Johnson and somebody else. I got it right here. Here we go.
And when you finish with that, for the people at home, why don't you explain to them why Henry Ruggs' salary does not come off the books?
Yeah, it doesn't get voided. None of this gets voided. It's attached. It was still under a rookie contract. This was year 2 of a rookie contract. Now, if this was maybe year 4, you could probably finesse it, but making this cut, it carries on to the book. It had already accrued it. So you had from this past season, I can go and pull that up real quick when he got released, because you had a long pluff. You know how much they had this past year in dead money?
$28 million.
$34 million.
Yikes. How do you... That's a lot.
It's a lot of stuff you get in factor in. Okay, so look, you've reserved COVID list. That was accrued to $522,000. That was Cotton, Potasi, and Seymour that caught it, and then your injured reserve accrued it up to $22 million from cap numbers. You look at your practice squad; they only came up to about $1.4 million. but really your dead cap is where it just bit you in the ass. Really just took a whole bite out of crime. Because let's see. So Rodney Hudson's $12.1 million contract. John Brown, $3.2 million that they did. Damon Arnett's part of year 2 rookie contract. And Ruggs and, Joyner. And then, you also cut Nathan Peterman. Everybody else, you could have kind of like wiggled that around. Probably would have came up to probably about, I don't know, maybe about $8 or $9 million how it's supposed to be looking this year. But everybody else that you had on the books from last year on the dead cap, they're gone. And now it comes down to $9.2 million. That's what it is. Okay. But you also have to factor in the contracts that go into effect at the start of 2022. So that's why you're looking at about, let's see, you're looking about $29.1 million in salary cap. Now, you also got to remember, you have money that carries over. So Raiders are really looking at about, I had it right here. Got the numbers right up front here. Here we go. That's 29.
Said 8.9 then.
No, Raiders are looking at, here we go. I kept going back over numbers, and it's just like it's batshit crazy.
Where did that come from?
What you say?
No, I was looking at that 9 million, and I remembered they were up against it, and suddenly finished with almost 9 million.
They'll have to start this for going into 22. They'll have 38. It'll be about 38. Yeah, that's about what 38. Yeah. 38 mil. So they'll have about 38 mil to go on and start for 22 season. But guess how many players you have under contract, my friends?
46.
Say that again.
46 players under contract, including 15 free agents
48.
On defense. 48?
48.
48, excuse me. My apologies. Including 15 defensive free agents and a whole bunch of offensive free agents.
So that's 38. You need defensive linemen, as we had discussed earlier, me, you, and Richard. Then you also have to factor in, you got a problem with your DBs too, I believe.
Desperate need for a right tackle.
You're short at DBs. You're short at the offensive line position. So when you factor everything in, everybody talking about this is what I need to go on and just let's speak on this real quick. Or you know what? Let me also update and tell everyone what you have for your head coaching positions that are people going in for interviews, because we went into GMs and then we just cut that off and we didn't get right into the head coach.
Well, then lead us off. I almost called you Rich. That was scary. Jones, lead us off.
Oh, man, that was funny right there. All right, so with your head coach, you got Gerard Mayo coming in from New England. They've looked at Todd Bowles. D'Amico Ryans is someone that they're looking at to bring in. Now, they're saying that Byron Leftwich is about to get hired by the Jaguars, but I haven't heard anything else yet. They said they were getting close to the numbers. That was probably about early this morning.
Dan Quinn in Chicago as well.
Dan Quinn, that's a possibility. Yes, he could be going into Chicago, but I know the Raiders were possibly looking to bring him in.
Dabble and Flores were interviewing for the Giants, weren't they?
Yeah, that's correct. Eric Bieniemy, Nathaniel Hackett. So when you look at the list, and I had some folks like, where are you getting these names from? I mean, like, you got to look what my job is. I'm going to be able to find names. Now, folks are saying, why didn't you add Rich Biscaccia on that list? Reason why, because his was an exit interview. He had the end of the, they do the little end of the year thing, it's like an evaluation. But I think what happened, it was his end of the year evaluation plus his interview. You get where I'm going at with that, Phil?
Because he hasn't been ruled out of contention for the job either. There's a possibility that they do run it back and potentially add an offensive coordinator and see what they got and try to keep this whole thing together and maximize off the cap space that they have in order to add to the roster and really try to make that final push to get over the hump. Personally, I like the idea of bringing in another coach, a more accomplished coach, more capable coach better. Now, I also wrote an article that got published for the Rambles about the Raiders mustn't get caught up in and be prisoners of the moment. And you look at Kansas City, and Eric Bieniemy and Nathaniel Hackett got interviewed by Denver, didn't they?
Yes.
Yes. So the Kansas City Chiefs currently have an unstoppable offense. Nobody seems to be able to do it more than once. Said nobody seems to be able to. I mean, the Buffalo Bills were number one across the board in defense in nearly every major category. Gave up a 40 burger and could not keep the Kansas City Chiefs out from getting 40 yards in 13 seconds, Phil?
Something like that, yeah.
In 13 seconds. Number one defense in the league. Cut up like a hot knife through butter. The Chiefs have won the AFC West for 6 consecutive years, only broken up by the fact that Denver came through in 2015 to win the Super Bowl and the division off the magic year. Eric Bieniemy has been the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs for 4 years now, 4 seasons. In those 4 seasons, he started with Alex Smith, trained up, coached up, got Patrick Mahomes ready to take over. And since Patrick Mahomes has taken over, they have been to 3 consecutive AFC championships, 4 consecutive AFC championships, including this one. 2 back-to-back Super Bowls. Should they win this weekend, they will be going back to the Super Bowl for the 3rd straight year in a row. We're nearing Buffalo Bills territory from the early 90s in terms of repeating at the Super Bowl. Whether they win, whether they don't win, they're going back to back, possibly even to back. At some point, this coaching staff has to get broken up. The NFL is a copycat league and a band of thieves. And if you've got a head coach vacancy and the Kansas City Chiefs offense are over here designing a plethora of ways to disrespect you, your defense, and everything about defense, then you owe it to yourself, to the league, to your fans, to your organization to steal their coaching staff away and try to break that up. Because if you can't beat them and you can't join them, you might as well steal from them.
Yeah. I mean, shoot, you see what the Bears just did. They got Ryan Pohl as their new general manager. So, I mean, you're like, well, they've had success here, success with drafting, success with getting their salary cap under control. That's one thing that Ryan Pohl was mainly working under was cap management. And when you look at that, the Bears situation, that's something that they need. So you get a guy like him, he's coming in and he's like, okay, so we need to restructure, or we're going to have to go on and release a few guys. So right off the bat, he's got his hands full. But again, this is why I say you come in and you look at what they have, and it's not just, everybody tries to put it center around of, it being Mahomes or Hill or Kelsey, Edwards Hilaire. You can go down the list with these players, but I mean, over the past couple of years, before you had a Hill and you had a Mahomes, I mean, yeah, you had Kelsey, but then you also had a decent free agent quarterback that you brought in that got the job done. You look at what you were bringing it. You look at what you had with what you drafted. You drafted Jamal Charles. Them drafting well, them making smart decisions in free agency has been their success. Now, a lot of folks, they talk about with the whole play calling situation with Eric Bieniemy and Andy Reid. So I had to go reach out. Went and reached out to some folks that are like really into the Chiefs. So it's a split. You'll have Bieniemy making decisions on play calling, Reid, and Mike Kafka, who's the passing passing game coordinator? Yeah.
Right.
But the thing of it is, Bieniemy has more input with Andy Reid on what they're doing with the offense. That's something that I pay attention. That you're willing to allow him to put that amount of input in the offense says a lot for me. I mean, you're silent. Now, what do you got to say on that, Phil?
No, that's along the lines of what I was saying, because everybody will tell, for what I've seen from Raider Nation, oh, that's Andy Reid. Andy Reid calls the plays. Andy Reid designs the plays. Andy Reid coaches up the players. Eric Bieniemy is just over here on the sidelines collecting a check, getting money handed to him. I'm like, the man has been there every second that Andy Reid was. He got hired as a running backs coach in 2013 when he came on. He's worked his way up from the bottom of the organization to the offensive coordinator. And if you look at the resume that he has, he should have had a job. He should have been interviewed by more teams than ones that really aren't looking to hire him. If you listen to him, the other argument is that he's a horrible interview. But if you listen to him talk about football, the man is a football genius and focused on details and situational details, situational circumstances. And if you look, when push comes to shove, what makes the Chiefs so much better than everybody else is when it comes to crunch time and situational football, they excel. And if he did nothing else but teach this team how to finish in the red zone and how to finish in the crunch, in the clutch, in high pressure situational football moments, it takes this team that much higher.
I'm looking at everybody's questions. So,
for the most part, what you'll see from Raider Nation is everybody wants to keep things the same. Everybody's excited about the direction the team had, and we were a receiver short of this. We needed some linemen. There's some key things that they need to address in order to get this thing where it needs to be. That line has got to be shored up and fixed. Absolutely. The defensive line needs to be replenished, and you need to have some better corners in. This defense, which was excellent down the stretch, was comprised of cast-offs, rookies, and guys nobody wanted.
Yeah. So you had a mix of older guys from free agency, undrafted practice squad guys. And yeah, it's been a little ugly. I put it like this, Phil. You said that the defense needs, a little bit of upgrade. So you need some guys that's going to be able to stop up the middle. Now,
yep.
and this is where things are going to be difficult because whoever's your GM and whoever they pick as your head coach, what are they bringing in as a traditional defense for them? Or is it going to be a 3-4? Is it going to be a 43? You have to factor a lot. You have to factor a lot of things.
Player eval. The guys that we like aren't necessarily going to be the guys that they like. The guys that we think can play are going to be, or may not be, the guys that can play for them. It's a interesting place to be, especially when there's this much unknown. When you talk about personnel without a GM in place, without a team president in place, without a coach in place, it's putting the cart before the horse and wondering why it's not moving. I think that Ed Dodds is the guy that they really want to be their general manager. That's just my personal opinion. No source, no anything. You can connect the dots, and you can look at all the stuff. But in terms of his resume, having been a part of the Legion of Boom, being a part of the resurrection with the Colts, coming back with their defense the way they are, looking at some of the talent that he's been associated with drafting later in the draft, might I add, it is, and his ties to Al, it's a no-brainer. You look at this, it's a no-brainer. And we can talk about all the things that we've seen, but Ed Dodds has a direct connection to Jim Harbaugh. If, for the most part, what Mark Davis has done is gone about this, listened to everybody, heard, and then he'll make his pitch to whomever he makes it to, and listen to what everybody has to say. He really wants to let the general manager hire the coach, which is the way that things are supposed to go.
Exactly.
Said Mark Davis may be a lot of things. He may be new to the party. He may be new to money. He may be new money, but he's learning on the job, and he's doing his best not to make the same mistakes twice. And for that, he deserves some credit and respect. Has he always gotten it right? No, but he's trying to get better. And by setting things right to hire his personnel in the right order, he's trying to set himself up to establish long-term success. And he's getting great advice from the senior advisor to ownership, Mr. Marcel Reese.
But it's not even that. I just finished piecing together my fucking research, bro. And I got this shit cut down to 3 people in a certain order.
Well, let's hear it.
Champ Kelly, Dodds, Ziegler.
Yeah.
Kelly has more experience out of the bunch. I said between him and Dodds, they got the most experience. Both have a Super Bowl ring. Both have been able to help put together top-tier defenses. From that secondary, the front, seriously, you look at it, I think it's a neck and neck battle between Kelly and Dodds.
Which is interesting considering Dodds hasn't even interviewed yet.
I think because, you got to look, the Raiders I say Mark Davis, he likes Dodd, but I think the Raiders really enjoyed the interview and the resume that Champ Kelly carries. Someone like him, and he's already been recommended by players. Now you got players recommending him. Khalil Mack, that's saying something right there, Phil.
It's saying a lot, and
Nobody stands up on a damn stool and shouts out, "This the man that needs a GM job."
no, they don't. But you know what? When you see that and you hear it, sometimes the Raiders have the tendency to try to be the smartest guys in the room and go in that direction that nobody else is going. This is a unique opportunity for them to absolutely not make the same mistakes they made in 2016 and not smoke the layup. What you need, you have in those three candidates that you mentioned, because Ziegler is a part of the Patriots or the Patriots dynasty and their run, part of the later run where they continue to put pieces around Tom.
I wouldn't say that, no, because he came over in 2020.
I have to relook at my research. I've seen something different, but whatever. But Dodd is the guy. Dodd should be the guy. But what I like best about it is that Davis is hearing everything and going to, more likely than not, whoever it is that he ultimately hires is going to incorporate the most amount of what he's heard from everybody else and throughout his collective search. There's a ton of coaching candidates out there. There's a ton of good coaching candidates. I hope that they don't hire a position coach. I really do. Just being honest. I prefer that at minimum they hired a coordinator. I need somebody who's running the head show, even if they are recommended by the players, but somebody who's been putting together game plans, who knows how to handle adverse situations as a whole side of the ball and as a unit. Somebody who's been groomed for the top job. And you listen to Andy Reid, and it's boggled Andy Reid's mind that nobody's given Eric Bieniemy a job yet.
Yeah.
I mean, we could talk about how it's all Reid.
You know?
Yeah, we could talk about, it's all Reid, but Reid himself is telling you, like, no, it's not all me. My man here is legit. I don't know why nobody want to give him a shot. Didn't he say this might be the year he finally gets a job?
Yeah.
Man, he's out here campaigning for his own man to get a job, but everybody else will tell me that, oh, no, we don't want him. Like, mind blown. Why? Because we want to stick with the devils that we know. That is, hiring Bieniemy is an Al Davis move. That is a Raider Maverick move that they would pull off in a heartbeat. Said Bieniemy is that good. Is he going to come out and do it right away? It remains to be seen. He's never been a head coach before. But as long as he's been in the Chiefs organization throughout the sustained winning, the sustained excellence, and their recent run where he's been the second guy in command on offense, they haven't finished lower than sixth in yards and points in the 4 years he's been a coordinator, Phil. If nothing,
I said on Ziegler, he was.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, that's
you know what I looked at? Okay, I saw what I saw. Never mind. But I looked at his few seasons where he was staying with Denver. That's what I looked at. I'm sorry. But between the two, I like him. Between him and then when you get Dodds to come in and conduct the interview either tomorrow or, Thursday, that will be interesting.
Jones, please.
Raise your hand if you know the definition of domestic violence. That's with your partner, okay? That's, domestic, within home area, relationship. So what happened with him was he had DUIs and he had allegedly assaulted a parking attendant. That was in 1993.
93.
Let me repeat that for people that think they understand the law. 1993. Tell me, if you did something in 93, should I hold that over your head? Yes or no? You took shit on your boss's desk in 1993. Should I hold that over your head? Yes or no? Some of y'all weren't even born. Some of y'all was still swimming sperm.
We bringing up emails from 10 years ago, man.
That's 10 years ago, but here's the thing. It wasn't just 10 years ago. It was still going in relevance into 2017, 2018. So that's a difference right there.
But with that bit, thank you, Phil, for answering that particular question. I truly, truly appreciate you. This moment was brought to you by Truly Tony Bang. But yeah, that's one of these things that keeps being brought up to not give this man a job that he so rightfully deserves. And for whatever reason that these guys, these ownership groups don't want to give him an opportunity, I don't know. I don't know. But at some point, one of these teams who can't get it right with a coach is going to want to win, and somebody's going to make the conscious decision to steal from the organization whose offense is dominating everybody else. Said, do you need to have those exact players? Do you need to have Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, Byron Pringle, and all those other guys to have success? No. Buffalo was killing it. Gabriel Davis had 200 yards receiving, four receiving touchdowns. Everybody was ready to tell me about how the Raiders missed on him, passed on him in the draft. They had an opportunity. His stats were identical to Bryan Edwards.
But I get why some folks brought that up, because Bryan Edwards was starting at the beginning of the year, correct?
Yes.
Gabriel Davis wasn't a starter. So I could get where, you could have had a guy like Gabriel Davis come in and get stuff done, because when he came in and started, he took care of shit against New England. And they were depleted. They were trying to shut out Stephon Diggs. I'm not talking about the playoff game. I'm saying regular season. Gabriel Davis came in. This man had a hell of a game. Took care of business. When you got a guy like Cole Beasley, you have Emmanuel Sanders, you have Stephon Diggs. Yeah, it takes away from the reps of a Gabriel Davis.
Isaiah McKenzie said that man is the third, fourth option, same as Bryan Edwards. When you're doubling Cole Beasley, when you're doubling Stephon Diggs, when you're doubling Darren Waller, when you're doubling Hunter Renfrow, one of your auxiliary guys should be open.
But when you saw that he started and did it without any of those other guys, that's where I take in consideration, okay, I can get behind that.
Now,
again, that. You said another guy, Isaiah McKenzie. Yeah, well, you're right. You ordered that, Phil Robinson. Yes. I like it.
I'm just saying.
I get where you coming from. I was just pointing that out. We can see the good on both ends of it.
But and this is it's interesting to me how many people miscalculate a number one receiver with the X position or the Y position. Cooper Kupp is the best receiver in the league right now. Everybody would say Devontae Adams. Cooper Kupp is the best receiver in the league this year. He's a slot receiver. Everybody will tell me, "Oh, he's a number one. He is a slot receiver." That is predominantly what he works out of, where he makes his money in the slot. You know who else makes their money in the slot, Phil?
Mr. Hunter Renfrow.
Why can't Hunter Renfrow be the number one receiver? It's not like he's getting double teamed already, isn't he? Is he getting double teamed, Phil?
Yeah, and he puts the baptism step on him.
How many touchdowns did he have this year, Phil?
You want me to count it? You
Please.
really want me to count it?
Please. How many yards?
Do you want me to stunt on these hoes?
1,000 plus? 100 catches? Double
1,
coverage?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
9 touchdowns? 9.
9.
10 minus 1,
1,
9.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3 times 3, 9. 6 plus 3 equals 9. 7 plus 2 equals 9.
9. 100 catches, 1,000 plus yards, 9 touchdowns, double coverage. But we need another number one because he's a slot receiver.
8 plus 1 equals 9, Mr.
9. 4 plus 5, 9.
9.
9 touchdowns, 1,000 plus yards, 100 catches, double covered, routinely smoking the team's best cover corner in short yard. It's not like he's burning them up the field in short yardage, close coverage situations, off the line. Hunter Renfrow, the guy who looks like he don't belong on the field, cutting them up, slicing them up. But we need another number one receiver. We need another receiver like the two, like Edwards and Zay Jones, another big guy like that who maybe he's not the fastest, but he can win 50-50 balls so that we can have him go up. It's what they need is that they have receivers that are being misused. They need a better offensive scheme, a better passing game coordinator to rework their routes, their route combinations, and put them in better positions to succeed. You need a speed guy. They don't have a pure speed guy. They got Tyron Johnson, but I think he got one opportunity to go out there as a wide receiver if he got that.
Yeah. Something just stuck in my mind right there.
Dude, he just broke Jerry Rice's records, Ken. I mean, you can bring up all that other stuff, and that sounds good, but Cooper Kupp just broke Jerry Rice's records, homie. Nine.
No, I just started thinking about something. Another coaching option. What would you say about Kevin O'Connell?
Cute. Where's he from? Just to refresh my memory, make sure before I speak on it.
Rams.
Quarterback coach, right?
No, offensive coordinator.
So now it's funny that you asked that because you can look at that and that could be a viable candidate for Kevin O'Connell, but we won't have the same conversation about Kevin O'Connell that we would have with Eric Bieniemy, even though Eric Bieniemy's resume would still be better.
Still, yeah, you're right.
But still be better.
I'm just throwing out.
No, I get it. I'm just saying, just to point out for everybody out there in the live. It's like you look at this and you make those compare. Somebody brought up Joe Brady. You bring up Joe Brady, cool. I'm okay with that. You lie. Hold on, let me finish. This is where it comes back full circle. You take Joe Brady, sit him next to Eric Bieniemy. Who's the better candidate?
Eric Bieniemy.
All things come back. You take every single name that you want to name and put Eric Bieniemy's name next to it, and his resume stands up against every single one of them.
Yeah.
4 straight conference championship games, back-to-back Super Bowls, including a Super Bowl champion. Quarterback is MVP of the league. Developed a guy in a little over half a season, about 3/4 of a season. Developed a rookie who was supposed to be terrible in the draft from what his scouting report was. They gave him a C- grade. That's what Patrick Mahomes got. Now you see now they'll say the only thing that could hold back Patrick Mahomes was Cliff Kingsbury's play calling down at Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Bieniemy did that.
Hey, you know what?
Under his watch.
Hold on. You just said that. Look at the Cardinals. What did I say a long time ago about Kingsbury?
Something unfavorable, but equally true and unfiltered.
That even though you see him make an appearance, it won't be enough. No matter how you shake it, no matter how you spin it, it ain't enough. I just look at how he's had all these he's had like a few bowl games, but he's never went above and beyond with his offense. Besides, Patrick Mahomes, and other than that, it's just not. Man, it's just you had some wows, but it wasn't enough.
Not sustainable. Goes from looking like the smartest guy in the room to what the hell are they doing out there?
But if anything, so a lot of people say they don't want Todd Bowles. They feel that when he was with the Jets, he did a terrible job, blah, blah, blah. So I went back, and you can look at things from a distance and it looks bad. But how much is that on the head coach? I go back and look at his quarterback situation. Geno Smith was already seeing ghosts at that time. You brought in a busted up Ryan Fitzpatrick. I think he just came out of Buffalo. I think he just came out of Buffalo. Or it was Cincinnati. He just wasn't the same guy at that time. Then he was hurt. Then you had Bryce Petty. Bryce Petty as your quarterback. That roster was shitty. From the defensive side of the ball, it was shitty. The offensive side was shitty. When I read these names off, Phil, you're going to be like, come again?
That's real, Ken. That was real.
Thank you. That's why I'm like, when I saw Rob Saleh, I was like, damn. And I don't want to hear anybody try to defend, what was my man's name with the Jets? Matter of fact, I'm going to bring that shit up right now. Adam Gase. How the hell I pop up as wow, that's funny. I'm looking at myself.
Right? That was pretty incredible for me too.
Damn. You out here trying to be Phil.
So when somebody runs up on you and starts swinging on you out of nowhere, I didn't have nothing to do with it.
This motherfucker. Yeah, Adam Gase's press conference.
Bruh, I don't even know how. I don't even know how that man got a job. How they kept that going after that.
I'm gonna just name this shit off the bat. Cause what? 28. Okay, so 2016. I go back to 2015. Your offense was ranked what, 11th or 10th? Who was your offensive coordinator? That tells a lot. You had Chan Gailey. Who was your quarterback? Ryan Fitzpatrick. He looked healthy during that time. I mean, he was 33, and he was showing some wow. You had Chris Ivory that was healthy at that time. Bilal Powell. You look at your wide receivers at that time that they had. I mean, they were throwing the ball to Bilal Powell. You had Brandon Marshall. You had Eric Decker, Quincy Anua. You had Kimbrough Thompson. You know, you can name some of them guys off that list. Like, okay, I can understand why you went 10-6 that year. And then you look at the defense side of the ball. You had David Harris, Demario Davis, Marcus Gilchrist, Calvin Pryor, Muhammad Wilkinson, Leonard Williams. That was his rookie year. Darrell Reeves, Sheldon Richardson, Antonio Cromartie. So you had a lot of those guys that came over from that was still with Rex Ryan, his crew. So when you come in 2016, your cap strap, your team looking like a hot fucking mess now because Ryan Fitzpatrick is even age and getting older. He done got banged up, so he's hurt. He's 3-8. Bryce Petty, Geno Smith. You had an agent Matt Forte. Oh my God, Pro Bowl. You funny, Kate.
You know what I'm saying? Hall of Fame, the all-man team right there, bro. Come on now.
Hey, yo, you had a oh my God, they had CJ Spiller.
Yep.
Oh man, they was struggling, bro.
Bro, they was doing a damn thing, bro.
Hey, bro, look. You had Bilal Powell, you had Robbie Anderson.
This man said Adam Gase is the Jerry Sandusky of football coaches.
Oh my God, Joe. Yeah, bro. This is bad. Like, I mean, Brandon Marshall was just starting to fall off, you know. Eric Decker couldn't stay healthy. He was like Samuel Jackson and Unbreakable.
Ooh, Mr. Glass.
Robbie Anderson was just saying fucking and YOLO. Quincy Anua, this man was trying to knew why he was trying to look like razzle dazzle, and they said, hell yeah, we can move on from Brandon Marshall and all. And lo and behold, that man will be on the IR all his life, collecting the check. Could we go to 2017? You had Josh McCown as your quarterback.
Now hold on, hang on real quick before you get too far past that. Josh McCown wants to be a coach. Do you take a look at Josh McCown? Because Josh McCown is a winner.
Man, this man has played on every damn team.
And he
got a jersey for Cleveland, Detroit, Arizona, the Raiders,
the
Eagles, the Saints.
You name him, he's played for him.
That man got a whole bunch.
That man is a winner. Y'all need to get off Josh McCown.
The Vikings, yep. That man been everywhere.
He'd have to start as a QB, honestly. He'd have to start as a QB
I'm
coach.
gonna put it like this. And he's even said it. He's actually said it to a few of us that he's not gonna come back and he wouldn't come and coach because basically he's got that takes away from him spending time with what he's been doing with his kids. He has to be full-time versus trying to be part-time. I mean, that's not going to work. Oh my
I don't even know where to begin with that, Kate, to be honest with you. I'm named after his shitty ass brother, Cade McNown. I'm still mad at my mama for disrespecting me like that.
Yo,
I have questions, but I'm not gonna ask them. I'm gonna let you off easy because you my mans,
bro. Oh shit! Hey, hold up, bro. Hold up. I still gotta go over this.
Truly,
yes, bro.
Truly,
yo, this is sad. Like there was no way of succeeding offensively with this
ever.
Like, I mean, you had some flashes. Like I said, you had flashes from Robbie Anderson, Jermaine Kearse, but your quarterback play was not that good. Oh, God. Austin Safarian Jenkins.
Oh, Lord.
A Darius. Dog, this is bad. Like I said, this man lost a ton of players for his defense. So how could this man, Ty Bowles, have any success?
Can't win with him. Can't play with him.
Demario Davis, Darren Lee, Jamal Adams, rookie year, Marcus Mang, Buster Skrine, Jordan Jenkins, Morris Claiborne, slow ass, Muhammad Wink.
Okay. All right. Now, shut up. Now I'm gonna bite. So, all right, Cade, I gotta know. Do you got brothers? Were you the first child? Because I can't believe that your pops let your mom name his first son Cade after Cade McNown from UCLA.
Oh my God.
Now
this motherfucker done left the goddamn. You see what you did, Cade? I was named after Sean Connery. Look, you done made Robinson leave the damn room. You know that is,
man, the the commentary got so rough that StreamYard kicked me out of my own broadcast.
Well,
the first son.
Well, this is interesting.
Ooh, my heart goes out to you. Slap your daddy. That's all I can say.
Well, I got more homework to do.
Commissioner Gordon.
I can't stand this shit.
But it's a Tuesday evening. We're gonna have more information coming out. We'll have another show later in this week.
Update.
Please.
Raiders will be bringing John Spytek to interview for the GM position. He comes from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He is the vice president of player personnel.
Spytek. His name is Spytek. Oh, you gotta hire that. You gotta hire that man just off the name alone. Forget about Spygate. We got Spytek, the super spy.
Oh shit! I just got a text message, and this is interesting.
Oh, let's tell. What is this?
Well, I'm just gonna say this, buddy. Just gonna say, Phil, that came out of left field, like really out of left field. I didn't even see that shit coming.
Really?
Kid, Spytek has a good rap sheet, man. Yup. It's pretty damn good, man. You know who he helped bring in?
What's that? Who did he help bring in? Tom?
Help bring in Tom.
Well, all righty.
Oh, and to add on, he was the main one that helped bringing Barrett back. Main hand in helping on oh shit, damn man. Okay.
Certainly, if they switch to a 3-4,
I know. I'm doing like the long pauses. Like, wow, everybody's trying to figure out what's going on, and guy's good. I mean, he's got a good fucking background, and I'm just pulling up his fucking resume. Oh, I gotta show you how I get sent the resumes, man. This shit's fucking good.
Oh, I can't wait to see that. But if there's nothing else, let's go ahead and end this show because my dinner's getting cold. Well, hurry the fuck up.
Look, I just tell you this, man. I'm telling you, looking at his resume right now, this man has had solid and great success. You know, coming from out of Denver as one of their national scouts, and then also being a director of player personnel for the Bucks. And all I can say is, Phil, if they look at narrowing it down to maybe like their 4, if it came down to a top 2, he could slide into that.
I promise you.
There it is.
I mean it, Phil, because literally, when a guy that had a major hand and Tom coming in and him trying to make the sales, trying to make the pitch, that's good.
I promise you.
So, Phil, that being said, I see you eating and got some right here. You gotta get that off right there, you know.
That's called gray hair, bro.
That ain't great hair. You had a piece of, I don't know. Yeah. There you go. There you go. There you go. So, boy, the mind said that we might be switching over to a 3-4.
They've had the personnel for quite some time. And a lot of the guys that they've talked to employ it.
A lot of the guys they have brought in. These guys know fucking 3-4 defense. It's all on their background.
Yep.
So it's gonna be interesting for the Raiders. I don't want to take too much away because Phil, you know what? I think we're gonna be busy talking all fucking week.
Oh, for sure. It's gonna be a busy off season. There's a lot gonna be happening, a lot of moving pieces, and it's going to be exciting, to say the least, to see who ultimately gets the top jobs, what players they retain, what players they bring in, and how does it all get brought together right before training camp so that we can have a look at what we are going to be seeing in the 2022 season.
All right, Phil, you enjoy your meal. And I got business to handle because this shit is going to be nonstop.
Gotta love how the Raiders practice early and play late.
Yeah, you gotta like what Mark Davis is doing right now. You gotta like where his mindset is. He's willing to go and focus on, like, I'm not gonna rush through this. I'm gonna make sure that I look at this guy, I hear this guy out. If I'm able to get this access to speak to this guy, let's do it. So Mark Davis is on the right track. He's looking for long-term success.
Yep.
And I think he's going to be willing to take the jump in grabbing a coordinator as a head coach with whoever's going to be the GM. And that's what I'm saying. Go back to what I said about Byron Leftwich. If they don't make it official yet, that's going to be interesting there too. Not just with him, but also with Todd Bowles.
I promise you.
And that is all that we have time for. This is the Unfiltered Truth. I'm Robinson. He's Jones. And we'll catch you next time.